Young adults, what is good? We are so excited to be back with another Counter the Culture podcast. But it's been a while, bro. I'm here with my boy. You know him as Pastor Jake. I know him as my boy. But bro, it's been a while since you and I have actually sat on a podcast together.
It's been a while. You weren't actually at the last one. We have had
you
one
kind of
in
kicked
between
me
you.
off it, which is crazy.
Well, I think actually what happened was that you felt like having a baby was an excuse for not showing up to work. So
That's crazy that you've gone there, like as an excuse.
it's crazy that
I had a baby though,
But
bro.
you've had a baby, which is massive since the last podcast. I've obviously been here. We don't need to catch up on that. Most of these guys don't need to catch up on that.
Right.
But are you enjoying parent life?
Love it. It's the greatest thing in the world. But I think more like
Parent of 3, I should say.
Yeah. So I already kind of, but she's a girl, bro.
Yeah.
And that's just sweet.
Is it different?
Yeah, it is. It's a different love. It's the same. Oh, don't get me wrong. I love all 3 kids equally.
Of course you do.
But
It's different,
just
though.
a different.
It's your wee girl.
I feel like I've really got to protect. You know, like I feel like the boys, I'm trying to like kind of teach them to like
be a man.
Whereas her, it's just like, don't even look at her anyway, man. I'll throw her. No, I won't.
Wow. Yeah. But no, I love that. That's so cute. I love wee Luca, and she's been a
she's unreal,
cool
bro.
addition to your family.
She's unreal. But
and
hey, bro, you, on the other hand, you had a little something happen since the last
just a little something in my life. You know, it took me long enough. Took me long enough.
It's looking dirty is all I'm saying. The knee is looking dirty. You got it dirty, bro. You didn't know where you were going.
I was stressing out.
Yeah. It's
bro's
engaged, by the way. I mean, we know
I've dropped a knee. I got engaged to the beautiful Lucy.
Let's go.
And I'm so stoked about it. And the wedding's just around the corner, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So crazy. It's coming around fast.
You feeling good? Like you guys feeling like you're planned and kind of ready to go? Or?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, feeling really good about things. Yes, but
you feeling good about your decision to marry her?
I'm still with it. I'm happy with the decision.
That's great.
Which is always good. But no,
let's talk wedding.
Let's talk wedding. Yeah, I feel like things are getting sorted. We got the invites out last week as we're recording this, which is sick. So that felt like a big thing. I had to tie 80 ribbons, and I've never tied a ribbon before.
No,
so
how did you find that?
A learning process. Yeah. Just like tying your shoes, really.
Number 80 better than number 1, I would hope.
Number 8. Yeah.
And which number was my ribbon?
Yeah, you were probably one of the earlier ones.
Yeah, you were testing.
You know how that works?
Think that, bro. I did think that when I saw that ribbon. I thought,
hang on,
Lucy hasn't done that. Yeah, it's great, bro.
Yeah.
Stoked, we're learning.
So, you know how far up the guest list you are based on how good your ribbon is. No, that's crazy.
Whoa! Everyone that's been given an invite, go and check your ribbon right now.
Everyone's checking their ribbons. No, but the wedding's coming along well. We're sorted. We've got the church. We've got the reception venue. We're pumping. So it's going to be good. I'm excited.
It's exciting, bro. I remember that it's. I want to say hands down, but obviously there's been a lot of seasons since. But that wedding season, that kind of first year marriage, I look back on that so fondly. I'm excited for you, bro. It's such this lead up, enjoy it. It's going to go so quick.
Yeah.
Like, what are we, 2 months away, bro? It's going to go.
And I think so many moments of life can just go by and you won't really think back on them, but you're always gonna remember
100%.
Your engagement period.
100%.
So we're just trying to do that really well
100%.
and enjoy it, not get too stressed out by it.
It's great.
And
it's cheesy, but you got to enjoy the process, bro.
You do, because there's a lot of admin in this time. Yeah. And we're finding that out pretty quickly. So but it's really cool. We're excited. We're getting ready to
that's great.
Do life together.
That's great. Well, like we said, we're excited to be here. Another Counter the Culture podcast, and something we like to do is play a little kingdom or culture game.
We do.
So I'm going to rattle through a couple of questions, and we'll just kind of decide whether we think kingdom or culture, what side of the fence we're going to sit on.
This is great. I haven't heard them this time. Normally, I'm the one making them.
Yeah. So in advance, just bear with me because I've written the questions this time. But play along with us, decide where you would sit on these. So the first one, kingdom or culture, sun's out, guns out. Give it to me, bro.
3, 2, 1, kingdom.
Wow.
I thought you were going to come in with me there. That was the whole
sorry.
countdown. See, because I wouldn't have to count down myself. I
did wonder
count
what
down and then we can kind of do it. And you're just sitting there thinking, what's bro up to? I'm thinking we could go 3, 2, and then
try again. Sorry, team. Sorry. You play along too.
3, 2, 1. Kingdom.
Culture.
Oh, wow!
I love that though.
Okay, let's talk this out for a second. The only reason I say kingdom, I don't necessarily know if it's building the kingdom. Well, if strong godly marriages come out of this. Look, I don't
go forth and multiply.
I just think I'm not stop a man wearing a singlet on a hot summer's day, man.
It's great.
So
it's great.
So
that's great.
I'm gonna say it's okay. I've seen you rock a singlet, a Celtics one quite often. So,
but I don't have guns.
Culture. This is that you've.
So I've got you on a technicality.
Something I love about you is you speak truth.
Oh, bro. No, honestly, bro, I just said culture because I'd heard you say kingdom before.
Yeah,
and then I saw the 3, 2, 1. I was like, this is going to be funny.
Look, I don't, and look, this is generally the way it goes with kingdom or culture because we try not to be too controversial here.
Yeah.
But I don't think we need to think too deeply about it.
Neither do I, bro. Yeah. I think kingdom sits well with me.
But have the right heart, right?
Yeah,
right. If you're convicted by it, don't do it.
Speaking of the right heart, holiday flings, kingdom or culture.
Are we going to count down?
We'll count down.
And you would know this time that we'll do that together. So, 3, 2, 1, culture.
Okay.
I think it's important to distinguish what we're talking about here. I'm all for a holiday fling if the holiday fling has the right intentions at the start.
Right.
Meaning, this isn't just a holiday fling.
Yeah.
We think this could. Hey, look, romance in the summer. Fantastic. Great.
Lovely.
But do you think you could marry her? Do you think you could marry him? If not, don't go there.
Great. Because when you've got your sun's out, guns out, it's very possible.
It's possible that a fling could come around.
From that. So
you got to be careful.
Just make sure that the fling is heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
Love it. So. Couldn't have said it better myself. I'm going to put you in a little bit with this one.
Okay.
And myself, I guess, too. Bikini pics on the gram.
Oh wow, we're going there.
We started soft. We've ramped it up. Bikini pics on the gram.
That's
kingdom.
Massive. Okay.
Or
we count
culture.
3, 2, 1. Culture.
Ooh.
I don't know why that's controversial. Honestly, you're not being productive.
Let's go.
I'm
just glad that you said it. Yeah.
I think guys have to watch it too. That they're not being too prideful. I think it can go both ways. I don't want to be kind of like demeaning towards one of the genders, but
nice.
I think I don't think there's productivity in that.
Nice. So have your guns out in the sun.
Yep.
But no need to post that on Instagram.
100%.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
let's move.
Last one. The saying like, I just want to let my hair down. So like letting my hair down, summer, great season to just, get away from everything and let my hair down. Kingdom or culture? 3, 2, 1. Culture. Great. Do you want me to... What are we meaning by letting our hair down?
And I think that's the important thing to distinguish there. Yeah. I think that could mean so many different things. I think if it means like I'm going to relax, I'm going to take the tension away of just life, I think we got to do that. I think it's part of Sabbath. I think it's part of rest. But I think if that means dabbling in the world to let your hair down,
running from my responsibilities for a bit.
It's all culture. Anything that takes you further away from God or closer to the world, don't want to borrow it. He's having a drink. He's hosting the potty and he's just taking a break. He's here. I am waiting for the next segment, and I'll just have a drink. I've
spilled it.
It's a shambles.
I think That's crazy,
Can you
Jake.
be trusted with this responsibility?
Jake, you've put me in it there, mate.
I tell you what, all right, I'll take over. He's lost it. We are doing a podcast today. The reason we want to do this, we've been doing these really cool podcasts right throughout the year on Counter the Culture. We've been looking about setting ourselves apart from the world, running towards the things of the kingdom. That is where we have our citizenship. That is our true home. And so we want to be following Jesus, be active pursuers of him as much as possible. We don't want to be cozying up with the things of the world. That's what we're talking about on all of these Counter the Culture podcasts. And I think some of your kind of summer kingdom or culture kind of questions really just tie into what I think would be really valuable to talk about today. And that is just this kind of idea of how do we do summer well? And I know it might sound like a strange kind of title for a podcast, but I've been just having a few conversations with young adults recently about this exact thing. How do I do summer well? Something I've noticed is that as we head into the summer months and we start to relax a little bit more, some of us have annual leave if you're working, others are on uni break. We're heading into a time we've got a bit of time on our hands. The weather is good. Maybe, even if we're honest, some of the temptations of the world grow a little bit stronger because there's so much opportunity to dabble in it, to be around your mates, and to behave in a way that maybe isn't kingdom, maybe isn't how a Jesus follower should be living. And so I thought it'd be really valuable just to have a conversation as we head into the summer months about how to prepare for this and how to keep the fire burning hot for our faith as we head into a time that maybe it gets a little bit harder, if we're honest. And so I think it's valuable to talk about. And I wonder if we just kick this off, and I just want to ask you, man, like, what excites you about summer?
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to this summer? And what does summers look like to you? And what does that mean to you when you're thinking about getting to this time of year?
Yeah, and I love what you said about, like, you know, we look at summer and we kind of, things get a little bit like, I just feel like everyone relaxes a little bit more, right? Like,
yeah, and I love that.
Yeah, you just look around, it seems like everyone has a bit more of a smile on their face. Like, you'll be hard to find someone that like doesn't love summer. You know,
Sure.
like people just love the sun. We love the beach. We love the everything that kind of comes with summer, right? And so for me personally, like, and I know we talked about this a little bit, like, you know, off the podcast, but like how we try to recreate some of our favorite summer memories. You know, so like you look back on a summer that you're like, man, that was just such a great summer. And then kind of every summer that comes by, you've almost got this like nostalgia that you try to just recreate. And that's true for me. I definitely try to do that. But one thing that me and my wife, and obviously now that we've got like little ones, we're always just trying to like be real present in the moment.
Cool.
Of like, you know, over Christmas, over the New Year, in that summer break. Like each day you've kind of got an opportunity to do something fresh, you know, whether that's out to the beach or off to a pool or, you know, just out for a nice walk along the river, but just being really present in that moment. Because I think we can often be like, oh, like, let's look forward to doing something big over summer, and you just kind of waste the summer away looking forward to that big thing, rather than seeing every day as like man, like we have such, I mean, even in Palmy, we get some great weather, you know, people love to talk about like the weather.
We're having it at the moment.
Yeah, like, did we even have a summer? Yeah, we have a summer, because in winter we definitely have a winter. So yeah, be present.
Yeah, that's cool. And I think that's what I love about summer for me, is just the space. Like, I think maybe up until Christmas it actually just intensifies, like just so much to get done. But you know, after that happens, there's just this space that's kind of uncommon in the rest of the year, where like businesses are literally shutting down. So like we actually just get to slow down. And I think that's where maybe some of the temptation of summer kind of comes in, because you've got time on your hands. But I also think it's a really like valuable, precious thing to be able to make the most of if you recognize that it's there, and that's cool. So being present. What's your favorite thing to do during the summer, bro? Like what did growing up, like what did summers look like for you? Were you a camping family? Were you a
No, honestly, it was like it was swimming. Like that was so it was either like you know, down to is it Horseshoe Bend? Yeah. That was like
the
swimming
famous
spot.
palmy spot.
Yeah.
I don't think I've
so
ever
like,
been, but
oh, bro, that's where we're getting you to this
down by Ashurst.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. It's so on. So like, whether it was there or like Foxton, Hamatangi, or like just the Lido, bro. We used to jam the Lido all the time hard. As kids, man, and like, I remember getting $5 to jump off the top diving board as like a 7-year-old, bro. And yeah, I don't know, for some reason that's just stuck with me. So anyway, but like now, so what do summers look like for us now? It's much the same. Like I want to get the boys out to the beach and like, it's weird, try to recreate some of my favorite memories from a kid with them.
That's cool.
But also like for me personally, bro, there is something about like the sunrise in the summer.
That's cool.
So like I love getting outside.
Yeah,
and,
I
like,
agree.
Being in my word just as the sun's coming up. I just think that's so like, I remember one summer being up at the Mount. I mean, that probably says everything right there, just being up
the Mount. Tauranga, the Mount?
Yes. Yeah. So like that is a spot for summer.
Yeah, that's funny that my mind had already gone to sunrises at the Mount.
See?
When you said that.
How good. And it's like you're out, whether it's on the beach or even just like the batch we used to stay at. We used to go up there quite often, me and Maylee, in our early years of marriage. And the kind of place we would stay, you could kind of see the beach. And so I just sit out on a hammock, bro, read my Bible. And the coolest thing about it is time isn't a restriction, right? Because like you're like know really where to be. So it's like I could just sometimes spend like 2 or 3 hours out there. And it's just like I said, every summer I try to recreate. That's what I'm trying to recreate, like sunrises with my Bible. But that's me personally. But yeah, with the kids, it's definitely like swimming, beach, sandcastles. When you get in the car and it's just full of sand. Bro, as a dad, cleaning the car,
hate that
sand.
It'll be there for the next 6 months.
Yeah, no, but bro's just said I don't clean my car.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying I can't stand sand in my car.
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is like that to me, as a dad cleaning sand out of the car, that's like a sign of we've had a good day today.
Good.
Yeah. So, yeah. What about yourself, bro? Tell me what summer.
We were a camping family,
right?
And so we were always usually by like a river. We didn't like they weren't super expensive holidays. We would be in the tent all as a family, with the like multi rooms, like the big tents. Would usually be beside a river somewhere, beside a lake somewhere. I have like great memories growing up of like extended family Christmases. My dad's family is absolutely huge, so I don't know how many cousins there were, but like over 20, I think. So all of those people getting together and the summers happened a couple of times, and I just got really cool memories of that. So family, bro, and camping. Nowadays, obviously, that's kind of look different year to year. Usually try and get back home to Canterbury for a little bit over summer, and that's always really, really cool just to reconnect with family. That's the main thing now, going back home. But yeah, I love tramping. Get to ramp that up in the summer as the weather's better and we've got a bit more time on my hands. So, yeah, man. Yeah, I love summer. It's really, really good. And just a time to relax. But I wonder if we kind of steer the conversation, because we sort of started this by saying like summers can also feel like a dangerous time for our faith. And I wonder if you resonate with that. Maybe even if we start here, what if we talk about like what do you think summer can do to benefit our faith, and how do we think it could detract from our faith? Could I put that to you?
Well, I think like how it could detract from our faith, I think like everybody can kind of answer that. I think we can all probably point to parts of our lives where we've been in situations where we can see like, temptation does ramp up a bit. More time, we've got a choice of what we do with that time. But I want to, if I can, kind of step into the like, how can it like build our faith?
Yeah, that's
because
good.
We talked a little bit right at the start about mindset and like being present in the moment. What I've found was the big turning point for me was changing my mindset around summer. So like I would probably see summer as, yes, like temptation, like just kind of get out of routine. I'm a routine person. So like if I'm out of routine, I find like my whole life just gets like mixed up.
Yeah.
So summer did that to me. And then it was like I'd spend the next kind of 2-3 months trying to get back into what I'd spent all year building up, So I just changed my mindset to be like, actually, my word tells me that, every good and perfect thing is from the Lord, which means summer, all the joy that comes with summer, the great weather, the beach trips, the hanging out with my friends, that's actually a gift from God. And if I would change my view to see it as a gift from God, not as a tool from the devil to tempt me, what would that do to my mindset?
That's great.
I found I was waking up and kind of just thanking the Lord for each day that came. And just asking myself a simple question of like, Lord, how do I start today with you?
Yeah.
How do I, throughout today, how do I honor you in today? How do I, look for you in every moment of today? Because like, he is in every moment. I mean, you're a big nature guy, bro. You love going into the nature and seeing like, wow, how can you not believe God when you look out at this? You've told me that. And it's like, yeah, so I get out there and if I just start with my focus on him, looking at him,
that's good.
I found that's helped me growing in that sense.
Yeah, and I love in your answer, like you're saying like summer's a gift from God. And I think and that time, and I don't think there needs to be any guilt around like kind of relaxing, taking it easy, because I believe that's a blessing from God that we're able to do that. It's a privilege. We get to do that in a way in New Zealand that many don't.
Yeah.
So it is a privilege. We shouldn't just like rest in that and take that for granted.
Yeah.
But we can see that as a blessing. And so how do we steward that blessing well? Every good thing that comes from God can be used one or two ways. It can be used for him, or it can be used for the enemy. And we've got to choose with our summer to use that for God. And I think the reason that I bring this topic up is I think that there's a balance of everybody agrees, right, we need to take some time for ourselves. We need to relax a little bit. We need to let our hair down a little bit, so to speak. But then I think without the right guardrails, then it can also just be a time where we become quite kind of selfish in our thinking. It can become a time where the scriptures get put to the side because we're getting up early to go and do all the things that we want to do. And we're really just thinking about ourselves and how we can make the most of this for ourselves. Suddenly those people that you were thinking about, suddenly those, I've lost my train of thought because there's been a ding on the computer, but that's all right.
Go.
Suddenly the people that we were thinking about including in our connect groups and the ways that we were being outward focused can kind of be put to the side because summer's a time for me, summer's a time where I've got to maximize this time that I've got for myself and for my friends. And I think that's a little bit of a risk, is just becoming a little bit like self-centered, a little bit selfish.
Yeah.
And when I think about Christian values, never does really self and living for self come into it. It doesn't matter if it's summer, winter, spring, autumn, like we're supposed to live for others. And so I wonder if you've got any tips on how we can do that in the summer, because I do believe, we gotta take a step back. Like, I don't think we all need to be serving at church right throughout the summer. Like, it's okay to take a break. It's okay to go to the batch. It's okay. But where's the line, so to speak, of like taking your foot off?
Yeah, and it's like you said, we can all see the value in like, it's funny that you use the term letting your hair down a little bit. Like, we can see the value in like rest and getting away like a little bit, but I think if we're going to spend our whole summer doing that, that's where it becomes the problem.
Okay.
So I don't think there's any problem in you taking a weekend to go and like be with yourself and maybe even just changing our mindset around that. Like, no, you're not just with yourself. It's, you and God.
Yeah.
Like, what does that look like for you? But yeah, I think, you mentioned Connect Group, the people you've been trying to include there. Like, what does it look like over summer to include those same people in your summer plans?
This is good.
What does it look like to invite those people out to the beach with you? What does it look like to maybe see what they're up to over New Year's? You know? And if you're heading away to the batch, is there a room for them to come to? Because that is, as Christians, that is what we are to do differently to what the rest of the world does.
Do you know, that's when it speaks volumes too.
100%, bro.
Like, it's one thing to have people come into your house for a connect group, which is a structured thing that's set up for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's another thing to invite somebody to the beach on your summer holidays.
100%, bro.
Suddenly, oh, wow, they actually value me.
They're not just doing this because they feel like they have to. They actually care about
because
this
I
person.
signed up for it at church, but this is something like they want to spend time with me outside of that.
Yeah.
I think that speaks volumes. And
I think we also recognize, like, that's not an easy thing to do.
No.
That's a hard thing to do.
There's sacrifice in that sometimes.
Yeah. But I think what I've seen in my own life, it's easier the more I'm with Jesus. Because, like, you know, how do we become more like him? Spending more time with him, you know, and then we start to reflect the person he is. And that is who Jesus is.
That's good.
Jesus is that kind of love. He is that kind of inclusivity. He is that kind of grace for people.
That's great.
We want to be that too.
Yeah.
It only comes from him. So, like, I think that's why it's so important, these practices that we've been building throughout the year, that we don't just scratch them for the summer. But, you know, if you've been getting up early, being in your word, spending time, continue that, you know, I think is important. Bro, you said something a little bit earlier, and I just want to kind of touch on it a little bit because we're kind of heading this way. You said a little bit about guilt, like we can feel some guilt throughout the summer. Can we talk a little bit about the difference, you know, especially throughout a summer season, of like the difference between guilt and conviction? Like, how do I know I'm not just like, you know, like I'm feeling guilty about something I've done over summer, or whether it's like it's actually conviction from the Lord? Do you care to share a little bit on that?
Yeah, I think I've talked about this a lot over the last year, and I think it's a really important clarification to make. I think we often talk about it as shame or conviction, and we're all guilty, bro, because we're all sinning. But whether or not that guilt turns into shame, that's where it doesn't need to go. We don't need to live in shame if we've got Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior and we're in active repentance. But I do think that conviction is something we need to stay so tuned in on, and shame and conviction shouldn't be mixed up. Because if you're not worried about that feeling of conviction because you've confused that with shame and Jesus has taken that away, then you're not living under the authority of the Spirit in your life. You're not listening and being receptive to what He's saying and calling out. You know, my dad, he always loves me, but it doesn't mean he doesn't discipline. You know, not so much now, but as a child, you know, it didn't mean that he didn't.
Bro's still getting grounded by his dad.
It's tough.
I wondered why you couldn't like hang out last Wednesday, bro. I was like, what's going on?
Grounded, bro. No. So yeah, I would say that. So I think it's really important to be listening to our convictions. And I think we've got to practice tuning into that. And we've got to practice being receptive in a way that, like, we're humble to that. It's a choice to make.
Yeah, that's great, bro.
Every day you've got to you got to wake up and decide: am I going to listen to my convictions, or am I going to brush them away and live the life I want to live? And Scripture talks very clearly about that not being the way of a Christ follower.
That's great.
The way of a Christ follower is getting up every day and saying, "Today is yours, Lord." And so, if you say something that you know, like, you need me to fix in my life, then I better get to work doing that.
But I heard a preacher say once, and I hope this is helpful, like, shame will like push you down and say, like, no, you're not good enough, like, you suck because you've done this. Conviction will pull you up, like, come on, you're better than this. Like, this isn't the life God's called you to. So I think that's like a real easy kind of differentiation.
Shame leaves you in the dark. Conviction will pull you into the light if you let it. If you let it, and it's an active decision. And so, you got to act on those convictions and not push them aside. One of the conversations that I think, and we've been writing a summer devotional, which will hopefully be out soon on YouVersion. But one of the things that I was talking about in that was about how close we get to the so-called line. And I wonder if this is a temptation of our generation, but just of our flesh, I think, is a better way to put it, because I think it's age old. How close can we get to the line? And as I disciple young adults, it's something that I I talk about so often. Often it's talked about in the relationships category, and it's kind of like
boundaries,
how far is too far? How
Yeah.
close can I get to this line?
Yeah.
But there's so much more than just in our relationships. It's about, like, okay, like I'm hanging out with the lads. Like, how far is too far with like the language that I'm using? How far is too far when I'm having a few drinks with the lads? Like, like they don't have the same convictions as me. So how far can I push that? And I've been reflecting on that, because that's something that, like I that was a lie I bought into for so long. Until the Lord really spoke to me and convicted me on that if I'm trying to get close to the line, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get close to the world. I'm trying to get close to my fleshly way of thinking. And that's not the attitude that I should have at all. Actually, I should be running as far away from the line as I can get. Not to be legalistic, not to say that I can't have fun in life, but it's a rewiring to say that I actually don't find teetering on the edge of sin as fun. I actually find more joy and more
flee from it, right? Yeah.
More fun and knowing Christ and knowing him in his fullness and understanding what it's like to have life in him and to enjoy what he enjoys. And so
it's great, bro.
I want to run towards God, not kind of teeter on an edge. And I think that's a really important perspective to have when we're going into summer. There's going to be so many things come in front of you that it's like, hey, come have fun in this way. Oh, lighten up a little bit. Yeah, be light, but be light because you've got no shame in your life, because you've been following the convictions of the Lord.
Yeah, I got two things on that, bro. The first is like, I think we can so often read scripture and then try to fit it in with the life that I'm living.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you find that you're like, this is the life I'm living and here's how scripture backs it up, I think that's where you're like, okay, you're trying to flirt with the line.
Yeah.
But it's like, here's what scripture says and here's how I'm trying to live out scripture. I think that's a lot, like that's the option we should be running towards. We're called to live set apart. So like set apart to me does not look like being right on the line and being like, oh, this is okay. This is it's a bit of a gray area. Yeah. To me, living set apart means I'm so far at the other end of the scale that you wouldn't even see me anywhere near close to it. Yeah. The other thing that I thought about, bro, is where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom.
So good.
And I think we can confuse freedom for thinking freedom to do what I want to do and I've got the Spirit of the Lord with me, so I'm free. But I think it's actually freedom from the idea that I need that stuff. Like you hear so many people say like, oh, like how do you have a good time without drinking? It's like, well, I have a good time without drinking because I got the Spirit of the Lord that set me free from the idea that I need drinking to have a good time.
So good.
So like where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. There's freedom from needing to toe that line, because actually over here, I find so much more fulfillment. I find so much more freedom, more joy, let's talk about joy for a bit, man. Like how much joy can we find in summer? And I'm sorry, it's not coming from, having another drink or staying out later with that girl than I probably should. Like, there's actually joy found in time spent with the Lord and then like inviting him into every part of my day. Yeah. Or better yet, saying, Lord, what are you doing today? And how can I join you on that?
That's good.
That's my thoughts, bro.
Yeah. And I think we can so easily believe the lies of culture, because what you're speaking to about kind of drinking and stuff, like it's actually, sometimes it can feel like it makes sense. Like I remember hearing that line when I was younger, like, oh, like I don't need alcohol to have fun, but it sure helps, and you can kind of like, when you get close to that way of living, it just makes sense. It's so easy to buy into that. But that's why I think I bring up that line of like, when we're trying to teeter on the edge of things, we're making ourselves familiar with these lies. We're getting ourselves close. We're putting ourselves in the danger zone. Scripture talks about don't let the devil get a foothold. Well, when we're trying to teeter like, oh, like how far could I go into that without it, causing me shame later on? Yeah. Like what we're doing is we're giving the devil a leg up to say like, start to bring these lies into my life. And so we're talking counter the culture this year. Counter means we're completely different. We're on different ends of the spectrum. We're living a different way. We're set apart in the kingdom. And honestly, we just got to get over the fact that we're not going to look like culture. That's the only way we can do it. We've got to get over the fact that we won't fit in to culture.
It's going to be a bit weird.
You're going to be weird.
And I'm here for it.
Where are my weird Christians?
I'm right here, bro. I'm right here. Isn't that so it though? Like, I'm not one of those weird Christians.
It's so
like, I don't, like, man.
Get on board.
Bro, get on board being weird.
Come along.
Man, there's freedom when you're okay with being weird, that's for sure. Because it's like, like, I don't actually need your acceptance because I'm accepted by God. So
good.
Like, if me having another drink is what's going to get me to be accepted by you, well, I'm not actually worried because I don't have the fear of man. I have the fear of God, and he's who I'm trying to impress here.
Yeah.
Bro, you talk about desensitization. You know, like you talked about, like with the horse. You said this,
yeah, in the sermon recently. Yep.
And bro, I think like even what you're talking about getting close to the line and like, you know, hanging out with some of those things. What are we just doing to ourselves there? We're just kind of like, soon it'll be like, oh, that's the normal. So it's then like, well, the next thing isn't that bad. And before you know it, you're not just on the line, you're actually over it.
Yeah.
And well and truly over it too.
Yeah.
So,
you know, I think when you're talking about that as well, I think one of the big pushbacks that I would say maybe as young adults we can talk about when it comes to setting ourselves apart is, but aren't we supposed to be a light? Aren't we supposed to be a witness in that environment? You know, Jesus, he spoke with the prostitutes, he spoke with the tax collectors, and you know, I need to maintain those friendships and I need to be in that environment. Could you speak to that? How would you pass to somebody who's saying that? Like, you know, maybe they're having trouble with temptation at parties but they keep going because, you know, well, I need to be a light in that environment. What would you say to that?
I think you're a much better light. Like, parties is the tricky one because I've always thought like, oh man, the last thing those people are actually looking at or caring about is what you're doing. And, you know, that like in those situations, they're thinking about, you know, I don't know, where's the next drink? Where's the next, you know, crack up conversation that's about nothing wholesome whatsoever. Like, so I don't think there's actually much openness there whatsoever in the first place. Is would be my first thing. But I also think like I just think about the life that Jesus lived, and we often talk about, yes, he ate with tax collectors, he you know, like talked with sinners, but it was always, you know, go and sin no more. Yeah. Like it was always calling them to a higher place. Yeah. It was never like, hey, you keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. Fine, love it. I love you. Like it was always like, you're better than this. You can do better than this. There's a life that's different to this. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not a big like, we need to be in those areas. No. I think like if you've got that person in your life, you've obviously got them in your life some other way, you know, and if they're just in your life because of the partying scene, well, you've since decided to give your life to Jesus or whatever it is, you're now set apart. I think that would speak more volumes to them. You saying, actually, I don't do this anymore because I'm now following Jesus. Then you saying, then them knowing, oh, you go to church now, but you still live like this. You know, I think like there's something to be said about a man who like, whether whatever way he chooses to believe, but him going after that and like, you know, willing to die for it. Like, this is what I believe and this is what I go for. So I think it's a bit wishy-washy when we say like, oh yeah, I follow Jesus, but like I'm still kind of keen on this. So reaching those people, yes, but we reach through love, still love them 100%, but loving them isn't joining them with what they're doing.
That's good.
So we reach them through love and we reach them through setting an example, you know, for young adults. Like I love like, what was said to Josiah, like don't let anyone look down on you because of your age, but set an example, you know, so like set an example through your actions, through your words, through your conduct. We set an example in those things. So
that's great.
I hope that helps, bro.
I think it does, and I think it's bang on. I also think what I would often tell people is that you're not as strong as you think you are, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I don't mean that in a way to put anybody down, but when we're putting ourselves in places of temptation with the expectation,
that's great.
When we're making it easy for ourselves to fall into temptation, to fall into sin, we're actually not. Our flesh isn't as strong as we think it is. And so I would just say, like, you wouldn't advise an alcoholic to go into a bottle store.
Yeah.
If you're struggling with the party scene, don't be going into the parties. If you're struggling with setting boundaries with your girlfriend, don't be around at her house when there's nobody else there. Don't be around at his house when there's nobody else there. Like, it's just, it's not wise. You're not as strong as you think you are. And so, yes, we can pray for self-control. I believe that the Spirit enables us, I think, but he doesn't want us to be silly. He doesn't want us to be stupid, because our flesh can come through, and we've got to set ourselves up for success in those ways. And I think in the summer, so many opportunities, and so you gotta be wise about how you're setting yourself up to avoid doing things you don't want to do.
Yeah, and I mean, look at even Jesus in the wilderness being tempted. Like, the final time he said, "Get away from me, Satan." Like, he wasn't like, "Oh, keep following me around. I'm loving this. I'm loving you continuing tempting me and me continuing being able to." So, like, even Jesus was like, "Get away from me. Like, I want nothing to do with you." So I think we've got to have that same kind of mindset. Get away from me. And sometimes it's like, you get away from him. Right?
What is Paul's language in the New Testament? Flee. Run from it.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
Yeah.
That's good. Man, this has been such a valuable conversation, man. I love it. And I think hopefully that's helpful for people as we head into the silly season, as the world will call it.
Wow.
But we're not getting silly.
No, we're
counting
not.
The culture.
We're getting spiritual. I'm sorry, bro.
Come on.
That's great. Hey, we hope you enjoyed this, and we just so love being able to, hopefully give you some tools and a little bit to help you in this next season. So please, like, share it around, and we hope it's been helpful for you, and we can't wait to see you over the summer. Look after yourself, love God, love people. Peace.